Fourth Wing just was speaking to me at the time. Basically, you can die during any of those. That's insane.
I feel so bad.
Oh my god. Okay, Shade. That was shady.
Y'all, I'm about to cry. Oh my god.
I don't know what compelled me to do this, but I've decided to read my first ever fantasy book. As a girl who has never read fantasy before, this is very, very daunting, especially because I know that Fourth Wing has so many people that love it. We're gonna attempt to read Fourth Wing together. I've heard from the girls in my book club that Fourth Wing is probably one of the easiest books to read. So I borrowed it on Libby. We're gonna read it together and let's just hope for the best. I feel like this will be good to dip my toes into the fantasy world, and especially like with dragons and stuff. Babe, look. I love this little camera. It's watching me read. And look, I don't even have to move it, look. Isn't that funny? Why are you laughing?
It's adorable. I love you.
Guess what?
What?
I'm starting my first ever fantasy book. I'm scared. What if I don't like it? Everybody likes this book.
Then you don't like it.
Yeah, but then what if I don't like fantasy, period?
Then you don't like fantasy, period.
Wow.
It's like we don't like horror films, so are we gonna start watching them?
Actually, maybe I'll start reading Stephen King. Hello friends, it is the next day. We are still reading Fourth Wing and I'm very excited about it. I don't know what percentage I was on yesterday. Maybe I was like on 15% or 20%. Right now I'm on 27%. Page 190, which it's 665 pages. I had no idea it was that long. But honestly, I am having so much fun with this book. Okay, so I know that there is a lot of world building that has to be done. And like, that's what's kind of like going on right now. But I really am liking it so far. I feel like it was hard for me at the beginning just because personally, when there's world building going on, there's so much information being thrown at me. So I have to read really slow so that I can process all of this information because I'm kind of just building a world in my brain. It's kind of like watching a movie. At least for me, I know that not everybody has this exact same feeling of like feeling like a movie, but you guys will have to let me know when you read books if you can see everything in your brain. I can't see everything, but I try my best to imagine, and what I can't imagine, this has been like my little savior recently, is I will go on Facebook, I will go on TikTok and search up Fourth Wing and then Gauntlet because I didn't know how to picture what the gauntlet scene is. We just finished. I'm trying not to spoil anything. Violet is, I guess, more confident in her abilities now of how things are going after the gauntlet, but I haven't seen a lot after that. Like I said, I'm trying not to spoil anything, but I like the world building so far. I've read other Rebecca Yarros books. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, you probably saw the first like read with me or like doing bookish things video where I read actually a Rebecca Yarros book. I think the book that I read in that video was The Last Letter. Let me just say this. I love the way Rebecca Yarros writes her books because I feel like she really just puts you into the world. A lot of her other books are romance books, but I have been a very big fan of the two that I've read. I think I've only read 2 of them. Let's actually look. Things We Leave Unfinished, which was one of her more popular books. It is The Last Letter. So I've read those 2 books from her and I personally loved them. If you've never read any of her books, I highly suggest, especially if you're a romance girly, I feel like those are really good reads. Let me see what I can tell you without like spoiling anything. I don't even know if we've talked about like what the plot of the book is. Let's read what the synopsis of Fourth Wing is so that way you guys get a little bit of an idea of what this book is about. 20-year-old Violet Sorrengail was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life amongst books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her tough as talons mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of cadets striving to become the elite of Navarre, dragon riders. But when you're smarter than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away. Because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet, better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter. Xaden Riorson. I think that I'm saying that right, but a lot of the names in this book are very, very complicated, so if I don't get it right, be nice to me, okay? Because I'm trying. The most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Friends, enemies, lovers, everyone at Basgiath War College has an agenda. Because once you enter, there are only 2 ways out. Graduate or die. So that is the synopsis for this book. And I feel like that pretty much kind of covers how this book is going so far. Let me give you my thoughts so far. I'm only 30% in. So this is what I'm thinking. Violet's mom is really, really tough on her, and Violet's mom kind of wants her. I don't know if it's right now, as of right now, I'm only 30% in. I don't know if her mom wants her to like challenge herself, because Violet was initially supposed to go into the scribe. I'm sorry, that's so hard for me to say. Scribe quadrant. And basically all of that has to do with the fact that she has been training for this her whole life. So from what I've gathered, every person that goes to Basgiath, I think that's how you say it, is and has been training pretty much their whole life for what squadron they want to go to. So like there's scribes, there's healers, and there is the writers. And I think that's it. I'm not sure, but I think those are the 3 that you can choose from. Violet, her whole life, thought that she was going to go to the scribe quadrant. So this is kind of very challenging for her because, as it said in the synopsis, she is more brittle. I don't know the story behind any of that. She is not weak, because I wouldn't call her a weak character, especially right now. I feel like she has, as of right now, really overcome a lot of adversity. And I'm obviously not gonna like go into as much of the adversity that she has overcome. But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I love the way that Rebecca Yarros writes this book. I had been wanting for a really, really, really long time to read a fantasy book, and I feel like this is the easiest one because it's just kind of dipping my toes into it so I can get a little bit more comfortable. Very excited because one, this book is really long. It's like 600 pages. That's long. Normally, I read books that are like 360 pages, so 600 pages is a little hefty for me. But I'm excited because of how well she does with writing the book. So we're going to get back to it. We're going to read for a little while. Let's see how much reading I can do, and I'll tell you guys when I stop. Right now, I'm on 27%. And I have 20 minutes left in this chapter. That's the one thing I do like about reading on my Kindle is it will tell me how long I have left in the chapter. And it's 12:42 right now. So let's see what we can get done. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. We took a little bit of a break from reading, but the whole reason why I took a break is because I decided, I was like, you know what? I think I want to go and have like the physical copy of Fourth Wing, and I was looking to see if my local library had it available. They don't. Surprise, surprise, because I feel like this is a very popular book and a lot of people have been wanting to read it, want to put it on hold, and sometimes just having the physical book hits different. You guys will have to let me know what type of person you are, like if you love the physical version or if you are a online on your phone, either read on your phone, on your Kindle, on whatever device that you read on. Let me know if you're a device reader or if you like to do it the OG way and read the actual book. I just felt like I really wanted to get a different feeling. Not like that I'm not liking the book, but I wanted to like physically hold the book. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but if you do, leave it in the comments. And I also want to know what you guys prefer. Typically read on my e-reader just because it is easier and more convenient for me, especially like when I'm traveling and stuff. I am one of those people that I will take my Kindle with me to like my mom's house. Like if I'm going to like my mom's for the day and I'm reading a book, if I have any time, I will literally like read my book. I've actually been at an event at one time or another, literally was like reading my book. I didn't have my Kindle with me. I was reading my book on my phone. I definitely am one of those people that like if I'm bored, I will just start reading my book. You guys will have to let me know if you relate or am I alone in this. I was actually exporting some of the footage because I am using a new camera to vlog, and this is the first like vlog that you guys are seeing with the new camera, so I just wanted to make sure the footage was looking good for you guys, but I like it so far. I think in a second we're gonna get back to, I did want to show you guys the different ambiance playlists that you can try if you want to. They have like a million of them on YouTube right now. If you just type in like Fourth Wing ambiance, a whole bunch of options will come up. So they have these. This one, which I think is cool because you can see like the dragons in the background. We're gonna get back to it here in a minute. You guys let me know if there's any other books or book recommendations that you have. I have like a laundry list of books that I want to read. It's just, I don't know. I get decision fatigue where I'm so excited about so many different ones that I don't know where to start. And also, I'm not one of those people that can read 3 different books at the same time. I have to have my all and my focus into one book at a time, which honestly probably bites me in the butt because I feel like I definitely could read a lot more. Maybe if a lot of the girls in my book club said that you need to be reading books that are vastly different. So maybe if I'm reading like on my e-reader a fantasy and I listen to like a contemporary or a romance, maybe then I can like separate it in my brain. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know if you read different books at different times or if you're like me and read one book at a time to kind of like immerse yourself. Let me know, because I don't know if my brain can handle all of that. Alright, let's give you a quick update. There is like magic, there's certain people that are healers, and apparently becoming a healer and being I don't know if it's a healer or they call it something else, but being somebody who can like fix people when they're hurt is like apparently very, very rare. I think that's cool because there's certain powers that are rare in this world. From what I've gathered and what has been told to me, there's a certain amount of cadets that go into the war college, and there's only a very specific amount of dragons, and the dragons get to choose if they want to choose people from that year, which is, I think, very, very unique, because I feel like that just gives the dragons way more of a choice and a lot more personality. I have yet to really see people deeply interact with the dragons, but apparently from what is said in here, a dragon has to pick you, and if you don't get picked and you're in the war college, there you have to move on. I don't know if you can go to like a different squadron after that, or you can choose to come back. And if you don't get picked by a dragon and you're a first year, because that's what they call them, first years, like the new people, the people that are just coming in, if you're a first year and you don't get picked, you have to do your first year all over again. So that would be 2 years going through the same process, doing all the same things, hoping you don't die in the process, because all of the, I don't know if I would call them obstacles, all of the tests that they give you, basically you can die during any of those. The tests are very intensive from what I've seen so far, but I think it's really cool that the dragon gets to pick the person, and if they don't like that person, they could literally scorch them. That's crazy. Imagine going through this whole hard year, and then at the end of it, you could literally die if a dragon doesn't like you. That's insane. That's insane. And also on top of that, I think that it's really unique because, so from what I've gathered, the dragon has powers. I don't know if the dragon has powers or the dragon gives the person the like extra energy to enhance their power as a human. So the human, once they get paired up with a dragon, will come into what their power is. And a lot of people have a lot of different powers. There's literally like the more rare powers, and there's like powers that are, I would say, more common. That's just insane to me. So I'm very excited to see what our characters, one, if they get chosen, and two, what powers they will have if they get chosen, because it's not like you're going up against like 9 people. You're going up against like 130, 160 people, and there's only a certain amount of dragons, and if you don't get a dragon, that's it basically for you. So that's insane to me. I'm just sitting here really thinking about that. Like, you not only have to be the best in your class in the sense that you have to make it past all of these obstacles, but on top of that, you can be the best in your class and still not get chosen by a dragon. That's just so freaking interesting to me. And also, there's so many different types of dragons from what I've gathered. There's like dragons that are attracted to a certain type of person or certain types of people. and dragons that are a little bit more reserved, or not reserved, but just not as intense as others. So I just think this is so freaking interesting to me. You guys will have to let me know, one, if you've read the book before. I'm pretty sure I'm getting the information as correct as I can, but that's just so freaking mind-blowing to me. I'm going back to reading the book. I'm reading, but let me just say, okay, there's this thing that they do. One of the professors, every single day, they basically announce the people who had died the day before. And I think that is so freaking insane, because imagine like you're in class with these people, you're going through all of this stuff, and then just suddenly the next day, either you see somebody die or you don't know that they died, and the next day you hear their name being called out first thing in the morning while you're eating breakfast, and you find out that people died. And basically they just like say the name as like remembrance for the person that passed. But I just think that's so insane, and that's like a whole other like mind game, because a lot of the things in the book and the reason they do certain things is to psychologically get them ready for like battle, and also I'm pretty sure like prepare them for the fact that people are going to die. You're basically, don't get used to people, because the possibility of them not making it is very high. So I just think that's crazy. I think I want to look up a map, because I get very confused on where they're talking about. Like, they're talking about something right now, and I don't know where that is on the map. So I'm gonna look up Fourth Wing map. Okay, period. Someone on Reddit made this map, which I feel like is gonna make my life a million times better. So let's see where this is. Where the F are these mountains? Oh. Okay. That's also interesting. The different sections, I guess. I'm assuming section 1 is the flame. It's flame section, which is like the head. Then claw, which is like the middle. And then finally it's tail, so it's the end. I didn't understand that. Now I understand that. Here's another tip. I was a little like confused on how Basgiath layout is, and you can Google the map so it kind of shows you where stuff is, because I was trying to pinpoint where certain things were. So if you Google Fourth Wing Basgiath, it'll give you a map, which is good, because now I'm kind of like understanding a little bit more. Close friend. Okay. Okay, Shade. That was shady. Oh my god. Okay. I just finished chapter 11. I'm about to start chapter 12. Can we just please talk about the freaking gauntlet? The gauntlet. She's so smart. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to ruin anything, but that was so epic. That was so epic. That's all I'm going to say. I loved chapter 11. That was really, really, really good. I don't think we've talked since last night. I already like started my day a little bit, but I have to go grocery shopping, so I figured we would talk about the chapters that I read last night. Y'all, I'm so sorry that I had to read them in the dark. I was reading them literally as I was laying next to Trevor while he was going to sleep, but I had to because I knew I was in a very pivotal part of the book. What was that? Chapter 11, I think? No, it was definitely, I'm way past chapter 11. I was on chapter 16. I'm on chapter 17 now. But y'all, I was so freaking shook. So last chapter was when we finally get to really see the dragons and see like what's going on for I can't even remember the term that they use like for the day that where the dragons pick their riders. Y'all, I was on the edge of my seat. I was gagged because it was just so freaking good. And I knew it was gonna be good, but I didn't know the extent of like how good Rebecca Yarros wrote that chapter. And I was literally like this. I was literally like bracing myself because I was so nervous. It was so good. I'm not gonna like give anything away, but I feel like she did such an amazing job talking about the dragons and going really into depth. I still can't really picture how big these dragons are, so I think we should like look up a picture. Let's look up like size of dragon in Fourth Wing. Oh, they made like a little diagram thing? Okay. This is good. So I'm getting like a reference point. I just like looked it up and a picture popped up on Reddit. So like I'm kind of getting the reference of how big they are. I'm loving it so far. I think I'm 40% through. So I'm not even halfway through the book and I am eating this up. I really have to like give it up to my book club because my book club is the one who like really pushed me and said like, I think you'll really like this. And so many of my girls have messaged me since I announced on my Instagram that I'm going to read Fourth Wing, and everyone was like, oh my god, you're gonna love it. Like, you are going to love it. And I am loving it. I think that this will be a book that I will want to reread. There's very few books that I think of that I want to reread. Let me name a couple. The books that I definitely want to reread, Love and Other Words, that's an amazing book. Just for the Summer, love that book, 5 stars. Oh, Liz Tomford, her series, the Windy City series, I would read that again. There's very few books that make me want to like go and revisit like the characters just because they're like comfort characters to me. Now it's 10:30 and I need to get going because I need to go grocery shopping, but you guys will see that in another vlog. I have been productive the entire day. If you haven't already seen my day in the life vlog, I vlogged pretty much all day, but I want to read now. It is 4 o'clock. I am finally clocking out for being productive and computer work, and the rest of the day I just want to read. Like I said, it is 4, so Trevor shouldn't be home until like 6:30. Basically, that means we get time to chill, and I'm so excited because I have been thinking about the book all day. I haven't felt like this in a really long time, and to be honest, before I was reading Fourth Wing, I was actually like in a reading slump, and I was trying to figure out how to get myself out of it because as much as I love reading, sometimes I don't feel like reading the same book. I kind of want to go in blind. And I was just thinking like, what book can I read that everybody is saying is a 5 stars? And Fourth Wing just was speaking to me at the time. There's a lot of books that people rate 5 stars that are Emily Henry books, but this may be an unpopular opinion, but I'm not an Emily Henry stan. I've tried reading 3 of her books and her writing just is not for me, and that's fine. Everybody is entitled to their own taste. Hello friends. It is a dark and gloomy day, which is the perfect days to read. I am still reading Fourthling. I am, let's see how far. I've been reading like throughout the weekend. I'm 65%. I'm literally kicking my feet, having so much fun. I'm 68% through the book, and I love the banter. It's giving. Oh my god, that chapter was so good. I was on chapter 27. I'm not doing any spoilers, so if you know about that chapter, but it's really good. Obviously, you guys just saw me reading. I just found out what some of their signets are, and they just had like a practice battle. I'm not gonna say too much on it, but they just had a practice battle, and we found out how some of their signets can be used. Like, their signets are their powers, and every rider has to come into their powers. So after they get chosen by a dragon, their own powers, that a lot of from what I've gathered, the powers, their signets that they get, they basically have to come into their own power. So they already have powers, but whatever power that they have basically represents what they are at their core. And I saw a couple of their powers go into use into this like training exercise, and it was really, really, really cool. And I don't know, it's just so cool how she wrote this book, and it literally like engulfs all of you. I have been kicking my feet giggling, and I even got like full body chills reading that last chapter, and I'm very, very excited. I can't believe I'm already 70% through. I feel like I've had so much fun with these characters. So nervous. What is going on? I'm 87% through this book, and I just got to a chapter, and I'm just like, what is going on? I just want answers. I have a feeling I might kind of know what's going on, but I'm just so confused. Y'all, I'm about to cry. Oh my god. I feel so bad. I'm not even at the end yet. I'm literally 88%. Oh, I want to cry. So no. This morning I was having like a dilemma because I felt like I was getting so into this book. I'm literally in the last, let's see what percent I'm on. I'm on 89%. I'm almost done. Let's see what page I'm on. I have 2 hours left in the book, apparently. So, wish me luck. I want to really like hammer this book out because it's so good. I want to finish it. So, we're going to try. I'm in like a very pivotal part of the book because I've learned a lot in the last like 10 pages and I'm scared. So, we're going to read together and hopefully try to finish it. You've got to be kidding me. What? Oh, guys, I'm literally getting full body chills. Like, I'm literally like chills everywhere. Oh, this is so hard. I literally have full body chills. All right, friends, I took a break. I actually made myself some breakfast and was listening to the audiobook. But I will say, just from my own personal experience, I feel like I get more immersed in the world when I'm physically reading it. So we're going to fast forward my Kindle onto where I should be. I'm literally so nervous because we're getting Zayden's POV right now. And I'm so scared. Oh my god. What? I just finished the book. Y'all, I'm not kidding whatsoever. Full body chills. Full body chills. What? Oh my god. Honestly, I'm in shock. That like legitimately just changed my brain chemistry. Oh my god. Thank God I have the second book. I'm not gonna read it in this vlog because this vlog is probably so freaking long of me just like reading Fourth Wing for the first time. Oh my gosh, I have to collect my thoughts. Oh, that book was so good. It's not even funny, actually. As somebody who went into this book completely blind, all I knew about this book was that it was a war college. I really didn't even know the extent of what the war college was going to entail. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I'm so happy that I read it. I hadn't had a 5-star read in months. I could probably tell you guys, actually, it's probably been about a year. I have been on the biggest dry spell of 5-star reads for a very long time. I have this book highlight on my Instagram where I share what I'm reading and what I'm rating it. So I'm gonna look through, when was the last time? Okay. I know that one was a 5-star for me. So the last book that I remember being a 5-star for me was Abby Jimenez, and that was last year, August 22nd. This is insane. I'm so happy that I gave fantasy a try. This is your sign. If you've never read a fantasy book, definitely give it a try, because I feel like it definitely expanded my brain in different ways. I am going to talk about a couple things like later on. I'll tell you when, just so that if anybody who wants to talk spoilers, we can talk spoilers, but I don't want to ruin it for anybody else. I loved this book. I feel like Rebecca Yarros did such an amazing job. You guys know, if you follow me or have watched my other reading vlogs or just my other vlogs in general where I talk about books, Rebecca Yarros has been one of my favorite authors for a good little bit, just because I feel like every book that she's written, I honestly didn't even know this, but Rebecca Yarros, most of her previous books are not even fantasy. She wasn't a fantasy writer. She was like a romance writer. And I feel like she captured yearning and betrayal and the dragons. I love the fact that in this book, the dragons, they're not just like an animal. You know what I mean? Like an animal that doesn't have opinions and deep thoughts and strategy and all of this other stuff. I feel like the dragons in this story, it was insane to see how intricate everything was and to see how they communicate with their writers. It literally like changed my brain and how I thought of these animals in this series. And I'm so freaking happy that I have the second book, so that if I want to, I can go straight into it. I am very nervous though, because if I go into the second book, I know that right after that, I'm going to want to read Onyx Storm. And the fourth book in the series doesn't come out for another 1.5 to 2 years. And that makes me so sad. I don't even know when she said the release date was going to be, but I know it's going to be like a little bit far into the future. And I'm scared to read the whole thing and be left on another cliffhanger with Onyx Storm and then not have answers for years. And also I feel like, well, maybe I could do this. Maybe I could read those 3, because to be honest, I feel like if I go into reading the 4th book in a couple years, I'm gonna want to do a reread of all 3 of the books just to get like a refresher. But I'm so happy that I gave this a try, especially since, like I told you guys, I haven't had a 5-star read in about a year. And that's hard. That's really, really hard when you don't find books that you're just like vibing with as well as you want. I would say normally I'm like an okay reader when it comes to having audiobooks, but there's just something about me physically reading the book, whether that's on my Kindle or on a physical book, that just hits so different, because I feel like you really get a different connection with the writer and the characters. I feel like you just look at it so different. I don't even think I mentioned this, but Trevor, I was talking to him about the book so much that he decided he wanted to read them. And I think he's going to finish today because he's listening to it on audio. And he even said, he's like, to be honest, I think I need to like physically read the book, because I think that it's just going to help me understand things more. He's like, a lot of times I have to like rewind. So I would suggest, if you can, go to your local library, check to see if they have it available. I know that they also have it on Kindle Unlimited. So if you're a KU girly, you can read it on there, which is how I'm probably going to read the second book, Iron Flame, on my Kindle and physical. So I'm very excited about that. But just this book definitely took me out of the reading slump that I was having. I've been having a reading slump for like 2 weeks, which isn't a long time compared to like the other reading slumps that I've had, but I'm just so happy. I have so many thoughts, so many questions, and honestly, I'm really thinking about filming me reading Iron Flame as well. And maybe I'm thinking about doing 2 different videos, one with spoilers. They're gonna be pretty much the same video, but just one of the videos is gonna have me talking about spoilers in it. So if you don't want you'll have to let me know if you want this. If you want a video with no spoilers, just in case you haven't read the book yet, but you still want to see my opinions on the world and what's going on, and then one with spoilers, which is they're basically going to be kind of the same thing, just one of them is going to have my thoughts as I'm going through the book. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, but I'm very interested and I'm very excited to read the second book, especially with how this one ended off. I knew it was going to end off on a cliffhanger just from what other people had told me. And I actually got recommended this book because of my book club, because I kept saying I wanted to try fantasy because so many people have been recommending me different fantasies and I just hadn't made the leap yet. But I'm just so happy. And I'm actually seeing my book club in like 2 days. So I'm so excited to be able to finally talk to them about it. The way she wrote this book made me feel like I was there. It was literally like I was in a movie. Like I could see it in my head and I was watching the movie. It was the most insane feeling. I had so much fun, like genuinely so much fun reading this book. I don't even know how long I was reading it. Maybe a week or so, but I'm just so happy that I decided to finally take that leap. I was very scared, I'm not gonna lie, to start a fantasy just because I really, really, really wanted to like fantasy and I wanted my first experience with fantasy to be a good one because I didn't want that to taint the idea of other fantasies. But I'm just so happy. So if you have been wanting to read this book, I highly recommend. It was amazing. It literally like changed my brain chemistry. My rating is a 5-star. If you guys want to see more videos like this, let me know. I don't typically do bookish videos, but I feel like, I don't know, I love being able to share my thoughts on the books that I'm reading at the time. So if you're into this, let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and end off this video. If you're new, I hope you stick around and join my little internet family. And if you're not, thank you for always coming back and being a part of the fam. I will see you super soon in the next vlog.